Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and today I want to share the only card that I got at the card show on Saturday. If you saw the video that I put on Saturday of the hobby shop card show, it was mostly Pokemon and TCG stuff. Probably 75% of the show was that. Very few vintage tables, and even fewer vintage football cards. But that's what I picked up. I found a beautiful vintage football card that I wanted to share with you guys. And it's a really tough card to find in great condition. And I'll go ahead and show some highlights, a little bit of highlights of this gentleman here, who was really one of the top players, especially in the late 60s. And, he was Broadway Joe Namath. And this is his second year card. And I just couldn't pass this card up. It was just in such beautiful condition. It's a really tough card to find. And it definitely looked much better than a 5 to me. Side to side centering is perfect, just a little bit off on the top to bottom. But if you look at that card, I gotta tell you, you're not gonna find a better second year Joe Namath than this one. I mean, the corners were super sharp, no chipping at all. And it shows Joe there in his second year, 1966 tops, card number 96. And again, the number grade doesn't really matter to me. This is a 5, but in my opinion, it's a lot better than a 5. I gotta believe this card was pack pulled and sent in and really not even touched, because these corners, as you know, any of these wood grain borders are extremely tough. And basically it was just the centering, I think, is the only thing that lowered the grade. Because if you look at the back, and I'll show you the back of the card, it is like a mint card. Look at the back of that card. It is completely beautifully white. Just a gorgeous card. And it talks about his 65 season. When he opened, Joe was sitting on the bench. And, in the All-Star tilt versus the Buffalo Bills, Joe was the Jets' #1 draft pick. And he was voted MVP. And it says on there, Joe was MVP in the Orange Bowl, 1965 Orange Bowl. And look at his stats, 18 touchdowns. Just a beautiful card. I mean, the corners are extremely sharp. The back is as white as you can get it. I mean, it's just a gorgeous card. I'll give you guys a really good look at it. A little bit of a rough cut, but that's normal in these cards. But I gotta tell you, that front of that card is just gorgeous. Just can't get much better on these 1966 cards. His second year card. So it's really tough to get these as sharp as this one. So even though it's graded a 5, it's definitely not a 5 in my mind. I think it's a little bit better card than that. So that was my only pickup. And I'll go ahead and share my Joe Namath autograph from my Goal Line Art series. As you know, I have over 225 of these Goal Line Art cards autographed. And there it shows Joe in his Jets uniform there, the home jersey. And the back talks about him there. Came out of Alabama, played with the Jets, and then later in his career he played with the Rams, and he was enshrined in the Hall of Fame in 1985. So Joe Namath, an incredible player, really a superstar, one of the superstars back in those days. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you just a little bit of highlights of Joe Namath, so you can take a look and see how good he really was. And there he is, Broadway Joe, Mr. Cool. Inside. you enjoyed that video. Quick recap of his year and his Super Bowl championship. And again, he predicted that game. He said they would win. They were a huge underdog, and they ended up winning the game. And that's Broadway Joe, Hall of Famer, one of the best players, one of the best quarterbacks in football history. And that's the card that I picked up. His second year, 1966, and his autographed the goal line art card that I've had for a while. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this quick little video. And my only pickup of the show, the 1966 Topps Joe Namath, second year in a SGC 5, but a beautiful 5 at that. Thanks for watching, guys. It's Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Have an awesome, awesome day, and I'll catch you on the next one.